Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we will going to discuss about our books review. The first book is about Muslim civilization, the causes of decline and the need for reform by Dr. Muhammad Umar Chapra. And the second book is Islamic Talk, an approach to reform by Dr. Taha Jabir Al-Alwani. Next. So for the introduction, this book explains why the Muslim world is declined today, especially when compared with its past as a center of Islamic civilization that advanced in trade and learning from the 10th to 15th centuries. These books explore the role of Islam in the rise of Muslim civilization and challenges the concept of whether Islam also contributed to its decline by exploring the root causes. The author highlights the important role of early Muslim scholars as well as the factors that lead to this decline. In addition, this book emphasizes the importance of reform in Muslim communities to face today's challenges and revive their intellectual enthusiasm and ethical values. Next. So, for the final of this book, the author emphasized the need to identify and address the causes of decline in Muslim societies. He suggested needed solution and reform such as improving education, sustainable economic development, transparent political change, and returning fundamental Islamic values. He also emphasized the important role of individuals and groups in bringing positive change to revitalize Muslim civilization. Next. So for the table of content, the first chapter of this books is talking about explore Ibn Khaldun theories on civilization rise and fall, and the second chapter is discuss about factors leading to Muslim civilization growth, and the third chapter is talking about examinize reason for Muslim society's decline, and the fourth chapter discuss about explores economic factor in Muslim civilization decline, and the fifth chapter talking about examinize the widening focus on education and innovation, and the sixth chapter talking about investigate societal issues contributing to Muslim civilization decline, and the next chapter is talking about extract insight from Muslim history, and the eighth chapter is talking about discuss instances where historical lessons were ignored, and the last chapter is talking about advocates for reform in Muslim societies. Next.
Most interesting chapter, Ulil Albab and the Future of Muslim Civilization. This section attributes the decline to a lack of individuals with in-depth knowledge when Muslims move away from the following of Ulil Albab, which emphasizes the importance of learning, critical thinking, and social responsibility. The exhaustion of individuals who have this knowledge also declines. To carry out reforms, it is important to revive Islamic scientific tradition and encourage independent thinking by mentoring a new generation of knowledgeable individual Muslim can once again discover the possibility of growth. If Khaldun theory development and excellent. This chapter delves into Ibn Khaldun framework, highlighting the importance of social and political factors alongside intellectual pursuits. Ulil Albab with its emphasis on understanding and applying Islamic principles. Connect to this concept when Islamic value of justice and ethical leadership were upheld in created a stable environment conducive to the flourishing of Ulil Albert within society. This in turn contributed to the overall prosperity of the civilization.
So for the second book is talking about the challenges facing Islamic to in the modern world and offers new views on how to carry out reform. And these books explain about the importance of re-examining traditional Islamic perspective and methodologies to address the evolving needs of Muslim societies. The final of this book is at the end. This book emphasizes the importance of continuing the reform process in Islamic thought to overcome the challenges of the modern era. The writer invites us all to engage in critical thinking and take concrete step in implementing the ideas discussed in the book. He also provides an optimistic view of the future of Islamic thought, highlighting the potential for continued growth and adaptation in the face of a changing world. Next. So for the table of content of this book is the first chapter talking about identify the causes of the crisis in the modern Islamic discourse and analyzing why the crisis occurred. And the second one is talking about studying more deeply about the crisis of mentality and its broad impact on various aspects of Islamic discussion, and the next chapter providing solution to overcome the crisis by overhauling Islamic thinking and incorporating Islamic values into knowledge, and the fourth chapter talking about explain the main features of the reform plan and how it can change the current situation, and the next chapter is talking about examine the relationship between a conversation and its audience and the importance of effective communication, and the last chapter talking about analyze the obstacles that hinder progress in resolving the crisis and provides ideas for overcoming them. Next.
Most interesting chapter of Islamic thought and empiric to reform. Chapter 3. In this chapter, the author talks about how difficult it is to combine Islam with science and how people may reject this idea. Ulil Albab, who are smart people in Islam, are very important in answering this challenge. Chapter 6. Hinderance Independent. In Chapter 6, Ulil Albab, as a deep thinker in Islam, has a key role in overcoming the obstacles faced in promoting reformist thought. They help keep the focus on reform goals and avoid getting caught up inside debates that can divert attention from core issues.
So that's all from us. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.